So how do you know when you found the perfect home? Today I'm going to try to answer that and give you guys some food for thought. Let's go. So how do you know when you found the perfect home? Man, this is such a great question because it's something that I get asked as a real estate agent all the time. Whenever I'm doing a consultation and people start to tell me, what they're looking for, I always get this question like, how do you know when you found the perfect home? Even my wife, she'll ask me, how are you going to know when it's the perfect home for them? And I think it's such a great question because this question really gets down to the heart of what we're trying to do as home purchasers, right? If you're buying a house, it's very emotional. You got your emotions kind of balled up in it, and you got a lot of money on the line, and you got to make this big decision. So oftentimes, we start to have this pressure building up. We want to make sure that whenever we decide to make a decision, that's the best decision possible. That is maybe the most logical decision. Maybe it's the best financial decision. So this idea of having this perfect home and this concept of a perfect purchase starts to form in our mind and in our psychic, and then we find ourselves oftentimes maybe getting a little stressed out or frustrated because the perfect home, or what we think is the perfect home, has not presented itself. So today I want to talk about what are some of the keys, or what are some of the steps for you to be able to help you find the perfect home. So first and foremost, let me let you know that there's no such thing as a perfect house. It doesn't matter if it's your first home or if it's your third home, or even if you're an investor, buying your 20th investment. There's no such thing as a perfect home. I think that once you start getting into the process, you have to put down some of your needs versus wants. And let me make this idea of perfect home a little bit more plain. Think about it like this: is there such thing as a perfect marriage? Hopefully you answered no. You have two different people that are coming into a relationship with their own preconceived notions, their own differences, their own preferences, and at the beginning or even later on, you can always see that there's some friction, just some back and forth in the marriage. Now, just because there's some back and forth doesn't mean they're not one. Doesn't mean that it's not a great, awesome, amazing marriage. But I guarantee that these two people will never categorize their marriage as being a perfect marriage. I think it's a great marriage, but it's not perfect. I myself am one of six kids. Although I would love to probably, categorize myself as the perfect child, I know that I wasn't. My mom would absolutely tell you guys I was not the perfect child. And so you just learn that, even your child, even, for those that have kids, I have kids and none of them are perfect. They're amazing. I absolutely love them to death, but they are not perfect because we are just imperfect people. What about job? I can use examples for days. Even the job that you have that pays you great money or money that you like, it's probably not the perfect job. It's probably a job that you love, but there's probably a job out there, if you had to create it in your mind, what it would look like, how often you would work, how much you would get paid, where you would travel, all of those types of things. I'm sure that in your mind you could build out exactly what the perfect job would look like. I'm just trying to make the point that a perfect anything doesn't exist, and when you're searching for a home, it's the same exact thought process. You have to go into this process with your must-haves. These are things that you cannot live without. If the home that you're looking for does not have these items laid out, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 15 things, whatever they are, if it doesn't have these things, then you cannot buy it. It's just not the right home for you. And so you need to come up with whatever that is, whether that's, hey, I need to be within a certain mile radius to commuter lots or the metro. I need to be a certain distance. Commute needs to be on there. How far is it from work? How long is it going to take me to get to work? What is my morning and evening commute going to look like? Maybe I got to drop off the kids before I go to school, before I go to work. I don't know, but come up with that commute. Maybe it's a certain number of bedrooms. Maybe you just want 1 bedroom and a den, and that's good enough. Maybe you need 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms. Maybe it's a single family house. Maybe it must have a deck on the back. Maybe it needs a 2-car garage. I think you guys get the point. Come up with a list of must-haves, things that you just cannot do without. It's just really important that you have that list, because the list itself is going to help you to find the perfect home for you. Doesn't mean that it's a perfect home, but it's a perfect home for you, and that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for just a perfect house. You're looking for the perfect home for you, and that starts out with knowing exactly what it is that you need in your home. What are your must-haves? And then I also think that it's critical that you would also have a wish list. I like to call this a fairy tale list. These are just your bonus items, you guys. These are things that if the home has them, it's a great benefit. But if they do not have them, you're willing to compromise. You're willing to do without. Lastly, you guys, I think also if you're really stuck on having the perfect home, which we kind of talked about, has this wish list items and has these must-have. If you're really hard pressed about finding the home, and it's okay, you guys, it's okay that this purchase is about the house and not necessarily about the finances, and you're okay if, I've heard this sometimes. People say, look, I'm looking for the best deal. Man, the best deal isn't the same for everyone. Sometimes the best deal for someone is the price. Sometimes the best deal is getting the home in a particular area. That's just the focus, the area and location. So whatever the best deal looks like for you, make sure if you're looking for the perfect home, you know exactly what that looks like. And so I would also want to add that when you're looking for the perfect home, you have to open up your timeline. Well, what the heck does that mean, Sam? I'm going to explain. So when I say open up your timeline, what I mean by that is, let's just say you're looking to be in the home. Let's just say let's say that this time was winter and you're looking to be in your home, let's say in the summertime, right? Well, if you focus on if you focus on summer, you might miss your perfect property coming up in the winter or in the spring. And you got to make sure that if you're really focused on finding the perfect home, that you open up your timeline. You don't just wait until summer, because it may come up in January. Who knows? It may come up in April. You don't want to miss your perfect home that you said you wanted. You don't want to miss your perfect home because you're locked in on a timeline. If the focus is getting a perfect home, you have to be able to open up your timeline and be able to adjust whenever that perfect home presents itself. Because when people are looking for perfect homes, they don't come on the market a lot. Like, you're not going to see a gang load of perfect houses every single week. There's only, within a 6-month period, there's probably only 2 to 3 homes that would present itself to each buyer that they would deem as the perfect home. I mean, you've probably seen it where some people have looked at houses, they'll pass on it, and then for 5 months they're chasing that one house. I really think that's important if you're looking for the perfect home, that you open up your timeline, that you be a little bit more flexible, and know that you're kind of waiting for the perfect home to present itself. So you want to control everything that you can in the front end. That way, when the perfect home presents itself, you're ready to take action. Hopefully this video was very helpful and was able to give you an idea, concept about how do you find the perfect home for you. There's no such thing as a perfect house itself, but I think that if you come up with a list of things that are important to you, you open up your timeline, that then you will be able to find a perfect home that fits you. So if you found this video helpful, please like it. Please share with anyone that's thinking about buying a house. And if you have any more questions, feel free to shoot me an email or connect with me on all social media platforms. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.